You guys can sit down. I hope you will please bear with us just for a few more moments, ladies and gentlemen. This sort of event doesn't come around very often, perhaps, well, exactly once in a lifetime, where we get to celebrate a career such as Mr. O'Connell's. So we have a couple of people that we would like to have speak. So first, I would like to invite up to the stage our assistant principal, Ms. Courtney DeMen.
Okay, my goal is to not fall off this stage here, so thank you. Excellent, okay. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight to Dan O'Connell's last performance here. On behalf of the administration and Mr. Golden, our principal, who could not, he had a prior engagement this evening and could not be here, and our superintendent, I just first want to thank Dan for his 26 years of working here at Addison Trail and shaping our music department to what it is today. One of the things that we like to do here in District 88 upon a teacher's retirement is look back at their very first application to our district. So no, it's not. Maybe just right. So it's actually pretty interesting to see how the application is written and what the questions were, and 26 years ago what we were asking our teachers to tell us. So one of the questions that I was reading today, the question is, state briefly your educational philosophy regarding the function of your major teaching field in the curriculum of the high school. And so Dan said, the orchestra can be a source of pride for all involved. For the students, a sense of belonging to a prestigious organization, promoting a positive self-image. For the staff, the orchestra can provide live music for many school functions. And for the community, an orchestra is a sign of cultural values and strong educational leadership. Finally, development of self-knowledge is the ultimate goal of any discipline. Music puts students on the path of self-discovery and teaches a useful skill at the same time. Coordination, listening, and concentration skills are all improved as a result of studying a stringed instrument. So one of the other questions, and there was only 3 on this application, describe those personal qualities which you feel would make you a vital member of our school staff. And Dan wrote, I have been described as funny, hardworking, dedicated, and friendly. While I am flattered by these adjectives, I would add modest, handsome, tasteful, and kind to the list. And then it says, of course, my parents made this list. So he says, but seriously, I am an outgoing, friendly, and fun person to get to know and work with. My actions are motivated by what is best for the students, and this attitude is always made for positive relations with staff and community. So what I find very interesting about these applications is that the majority of it still rings true 26 years later. So I've spent my whole career at Addison Trail, and we were in a meeting actually yesterday, and I was reflecting, I don't know what a music department is without Dan O'Connell. And so that really made me think a lot about what I would say this evening about Dan. And one of the things, actually the only thing that came to my mind, was how Dan has been so influential in shaping the culture of Addison Trail through not only the music department, but the school as a whole. And so shaping the culture of a school is a very difficult thing to do. And it's very difficult to find evidence for that. So I was thinking about all of these things that Dan has done, and I was trying to make a short list. So some of the things that I thought about. The first one, how he's grown the music department into a thriving pillar of this community. This high school is very unique in that it is the center of the community, and the music department is that as well. So many events that our students participate in our community asks for the music department in almost everything that they do. He's grown leaders who take his lead and are always responding to the numerous requests that not only administration makes, but the community makes and our parents make. He is extremely responsive to our parents and our students and our community, and he's always coming up with ideas to showcase the talent of all of our students. He's tapped into our non-traditional music students by starting the guitar program here, and that is also thriving with so many students who haven't grown up with music necessarily their whole lives. Many of the students on our stages for these concerts, I know I'm almost done, have been music students for a long time, and so he's really tapped into those students who are not those traditional music students. The thousands of students that he's influenced here throughout his years, who have gone to pursue music themselves or who have taken the lessons that they've learned here. One of the things that I think about the most is the confidence that they've gained, because you put students out in front of people and they have to perform, and so that grows the confidence and makes our students a well-rounded student. Lastly, every time I go into the music wing of our building, there's always students around. In offices, in practice rooms, in groups playing in the orchestra and band rooms, and you don't see that in every department here. Students always want to be around, and they always want to be in the music department. And that is part of the culture of Addison Trail and the music department. We focus so much here on academics, and we really stress with students how important that is, but Dan is always reminding us about how music plays a role in that, and how important it is for us to remember that a well-rounded student is the best student. Lastly, I would once again just like to thank Dan for his utmost dedication to Addison Trail, to the music department, to our students and their families that he has served here at Addison Trail for 26 years. We will sorely miss you, but because of your leadership, we know that music will continue to flourish and that the culture of music at Addison Trail will continue to grow and be a part of who we are. So congratulations.
I would like to just add a few comments. These are probably a little bit more of a personal nature. But I don't mind airing my personal whatever in front of 500 people. That's how things go around here. First of all, thank you. Wait, it's early. Okay. First of all, I would be remiss in not thanking the people that helped make Legacy possible. I want to thank the support of the administration that helped fund that, the music boosters that helped fund getting this work written and performed by our students. It's a unique task to have a piece of music written specifically for your ensemble, and hopefully some other day in the future some other ensembles will have the opportunity to hear this music. But I want to thank both our boosters and our administration for funding that piece, so thank you very much. So, on a personal note, approximately 27 years ago, you were teaching at Indian Trail, and I was student teaching at Indian Trail with Roman Palmer, who I was scared to death of, and Robert McNulty, who is probably one of the craziest music teachers I've ever met in my entire life. And Dan, who took me under his wing as a young music teacher and said, okay, these guys are okay, their bark is worse than their bite, and here's what's going on in the lay of the land. And we hit it off really quite quickly when I student taught there at Indian Trail, and then moved on to get my first job in Lyons. And a couple years later, Bill Geist retired here, and I applied for the job. And Dan was department chair there, and here already, and so I got an interview, and I was very, very pleased that he had enough confidence to allow me to come and teach here at Addison Trail. Both of us had a lot of struggles in those first couple years when Dan came here. Orchestra had maybe, what, like 18 kids in it when you got here? 25 kids in orchestra. When I arrived here at Addison Trail, we had 43 kids in band, and 13 of them were drummers. And I probably overstate their skill set as drummers. Settle down. And over the years, and those of you that remember, the music department used to be right here in this hallway, what used to be what's the studio theater now, used to be the instrumental room. We had to share a room, which led to all sorts of great discussions about where my stuff belongs and where his stuff is going to be. And then this tiny office that's right over here, that's now the theater office, there was 3 of us in there, Dan and I, and whoever the music aide was at that time, until we found a place for them so we could take care of our bicker on our own without having an audience. I remember Dan, every once in a while, my stuff, my wife puts it out there that we're a lot like Oscar and Felix of The Odd Couple. I'm Oscar, he's Felix. So a lot of times in the music office, my stuff is everywhere. And I would come in a Monday morning and everything in the entire office was piled on my desk and piled this high. He just got sick of it. So I went and I took my electric razor and I sat at his desk and I shaved. And what are you doing? There's no room at my desk to shave, so I'm shaving at yours. This is a true story. So about 10 years ago, when they came to us and said, hey, we're gonna rebuild the school, what is the first thing on your list? And Dan said, separate offices. And it'd be nice if the music wing was nice too. And it is. But on a more serious note, I have to thank Dan for being the kind of mentor and the kind of friend that I'll have an idea, and a lot of times I'll be like, yeah, go for it. I'm 100% behind that. Or, I'm not so sure you should do that. And some of my crazier ideas. So I can't thank him enough for everything he's allowed me to do, for everything that he's given to the students here, for like Mr. Mann said, about everything that he's done to improve the culture here, both in the arts and the school at large. It's just been an amazing, it's been an amazing ride. 21 years together here. It's been 27 since we first met. I had black hair. You had hair. It's been a gas. So thank you. Now, if you bear with us just for another moment, I'm going to ask all the students, actually, if you would please stand up and have a seat out here, because there's going to be something else happening up here. So.